Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog. Before I get into today's subject, just a quick shout out to Walt Giebelhaus. I just want to say thanks, Walt. Walt sent a comment into my last video. I just want to let you know that I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody taking time to watch the videos, and Walt and others who have commented for taking the extra time to show your concern and to write in a comment, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, because there are only so many hours in the day. I'm sure you have other things to do, and that you would take time out for me. I just appreciate it. I just wanted to let you know. Today's subject. Now, I said in my last video that today's video might be taken down. I was just a little bit concerned about it. So I'll check later. If it was taken down, then I'll tell you what it was all about the next day, in the next video. Before I get into the actual video, I just wanted to give you a little heads up about that. I'll tell you in a few minutes why I thought they might take it down. I don't think it's any kind of a big deal. I don't know why they would. I've told everybody, if you've been watching these videos, that I lived in New York for a long time, 40 years. I moved to Tennessee, where I am now, because life got very bad there, or it got at least bad enough that I could no longer live there. Not just me, but if you've been following the news, Carl Icahn, he's a multi-billionaire, and he just moved his home and his business from New York City to Florida. The last time I checked, about 300 people a day were leaving New York. And I've talked about it, the drugs, the hypodermic needles, and the homeless people that you see more and more everywhere, and you're starting to see the same things that you see in San Francisco and Los Angeles on the other coast, of campouts, of people living in tents, living on the street because they can't afford. There was just a story today about the least expensive, the cheapest house in San Francisco, $600,000. And how big is this house? You'd think it would be a mansion. 576 square feet, $600,000. So who could afford in a middle? In fact, I read that you would need an income of $330,000 a year to be able to afford this little 576 square foot house, which is about the size of my old apartment in Harlem, for which I paid about $1,000, and I was cramped in there. And the place I live now, my condo, maybe I'll do a condo tour someday, it's several times bigger. It's 3 bedrooms on 3 floors, and it's got, actually there's an extra room down in the lower floor that could be, and it's a finished lower floor that could be another bedroom. I'm maybe going to turn it into a music studio or something. The point is that you see the same thing in New York now, because New York is so expensive. I'm not going to go into that a lot, or the hypodermic needles, or the homeless people everywhere, or a million other things, the terrible subways, the feather bedding of civil service workers, like the subway workers that are being just overpaid, number one, and number two, they put 2 or 3 people to do a job, or sometimes more, a job that could be done by one person. It's really terrible. Couldn't stand it anymore. But there are just these times when you're living in New York, or at least when I was living in New York, even after 40 years there, where you're going through your daily life, just the trials and tribulations of daily life in New York, all the problems that I've been mentioning from time to time as I've been doing these videos. But you'll be just going through your life, and then just suddenly, out of nowhere, you'll see something or you'll hear something that will just take a moment in time and just freeze that moment, just freeze that instant. And at least for me, just this emotion just washes over me and just suffuses me from head to toe, and just makes me say, what a great city. Because it is, even with all its problems, I have to admit that New York, it's a great city. It's like no other city, which just makes me even sadder about what's happening to this great city that I lived in for 40 years, and that in my heart I still have a feeling for. That brings us to one of those moments, or several of them actually. I'm going to show you a video. This is from a promotional video of the Trump Hotel. Now the Trump, or the Trump International Hotel in Columbus Circle, which was, according to, what's this magazine here? Luxury Lifestyle magazine, voted the best hotel in the world. So whatever you think of Donald Trump as president, he knows how to run a hotel. You have to give him that. So the reason I bring up the hotel in this video, though, is not to help Donald Trump. I don't think he needs my help. But there's this promotional video, and it shows, of course, the hotel and the happy employees arranging flowers, and the waiters and the doorman greeting you when you walk in and all that kind of stuff. But interspersed are these scenes of the area around the hotel, which would be Columbus Circle. So you've got Lincoln Center, and then you've got the Central Park, a few other scenes. But it just, when you see these scenes isolated from the daily life in New York, which is what brought me to New York, by the way, these many years ago, I saw Annie Hall, the Woody Allen movie, his so-called breakthrough movie. And it wasn't so much the story, the movie, or the acting or anything, but the scenes of New York, the blocks of brownstones and the various other parts of New York, that just, it just made me want to move there. And then after I moved to New York, I saw Manhattan, his other movie that shows a lot of New York, and the same thing. You just see these scenes and they just make me fall in love with the city all over again. And that's what happened this time. I saw this video, and let's be honest, this video, it's for me. It's really not for you. I hope some of you will find it enjoyable, but it's for me. Just these scenes of New York, just to see them again. And in fact, on my computer screen here in Tennessee, my wallpaper is an aerial view of the city. So I'm going to show you the video in a second. I just want to mention that my concern about YouTube possibly taking the video down, it was all about taking this promotional video and cutting it all up, editing out parts of it. Maybe there's some kind of copyright, something, I don't know. So I'm optimistic that the video will be shown. So without further ado, That's it. Just wanted to show you that. And again, as I said, it's really more for me than for you. But I hope you were able to bear with me. And I'll see you all again soon. But before I go, as usual, thumbs up if you like the video. If you think someone else would like the video, please share the video with them. You got any comments, you can put them in the comments section. And you can, well, if you got a Twitter account, you could put my URL in your Twitter timeline, whatever the heck they call it, and retweet it to all your friends. You can also subscribe. That would really be great. I love getting subscribers. And finally, what I love most of all is seeing all of you again. So I hope I will see all of you again. And until I do, bye.